Welcome to Deep Thought. Stop thinking everything is a conspiracy. You know something? I was thinking about something. Everything isn't. I'll use a personal example, and I've mentioned this before because it really got on my nerves. You know, as people know, I've been very open about it. I had a stroke back in October. Getting better and everything, but one thing that really annoyed me to the point I will block the people is people say, hey, did you take the jab? Did you take the jab? I'm like, no, motherfucker, I just had a plain stroke. Like strokes, stuff like that existed way before COVID, way before something. Everything, you just had a stroke. There's all to it, you know? Other people having stuff, everybody haven't taken a jab. Indeed, everybody was saying, oh, that's killing people. But I've actually known some people who've taken the jab, very open about it, and they're very healthy. But you get some people who think that's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. You know, they put everything on. Recently, I live outside of Baltimore, so, we had that big thing with the boat crashing into the bridge. So many people saying that's a conspiracy. It's like, or maybe they just fucked up. Sometimes things just happen. It ain't that deep. See, here's the problem with thinking everything is a conspiracy. It is a major problem with it. And let's be clear, there are some conspiracies. And I'm talking to somebody who's looked into conspiracies. Just with the vibration of some people I used to be around, that shared vibration again. So I've looked into them. It's like some shit just happens. That thing in Baltimore probably just happened. People will try to point it out, speed it up. Oh, why it happened because of this or this. You weren't there. People adding the stuff thinking, oh yeah, it must be that. It must be that. Or they thinking, they don't know, they don't see the whole picture. Now this wasn't so much a conspiracy, but I remember back in the day when I was still living in my grandmother's house. And I had a neighbor, she was a woman making a lot of money, high in the government. She died in an accident. Okay, her son took over the house. Now he all of a sudden he bought a Rolls Royce, everything. All of a sudden you hear some people thinking, even the young lady I was dealing with thinking, oh, you got that drug dealer living next to you. I was like, no. It wasn't that deep. In fact, there was some stuff, some lover spat in the house, caught on, the house was like destroyed in a fire and everything. And you had a group of people, thankfully I wasn't there, they came around the house and was saying, oh yeah, this is what happens when you use drugs, all of that. And if I was there, I would have said, no, that dude, first of all, his mother left him a whole lot of money. He had a serious insurance policy. He was just stupid and just really spending money and everything like that. Now this dude had legitimate money, but everybody was thinking it was some type of drug thing. But that's that conspiracy. Sometimes it ain't that deep. Shit happen. Unless you know for sure, it's a conspiracy. And I'll get into how the only way you really gonna know. Unless you know for sure, it just happens. Shit just happened. You don't know the whole story. I've talked about that before. Get the whole story. If you don't know everything, don't assume. See, one of the things people have a problem with people, they feel like there's some theys that's controlling everything. And there are definitely some theys. And some of them want some metaphysical thing. Or some of them could be economic, political. Yeah, there's somebody trying to manipulate something, but some shit just happened. And even then, the days don't have that much power. But, they might let you think, they might not say, oh, okay, let them think they running some shit. They not. Like I said, there are some stuff in the world, but one thing about conspiracies, they're in secret. You ain't gonna know. If you seen it, it's not a good conspiracy. It's not a good conspiracy. You start looking into stuff and really examining stuff, and you be like, damn, it ain't that deep. Like I said, I used to roll with some people and say, yeah, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. I was caught up in that vibration, but then I started looking at stuff. I said, hold up. I started digging into stuff. It's like, oh no, this probably just happened. Everything ain't, you know. You got some people, famous people get killed and they'll say, oh, it's a conspiracy. Or maybe they were just doing some stuff that just wasn't good. Their health wasn't good, you know. Could be some content creator or somebody who's in the movement. You especially get that with some people. They say, oh, they must have killed him. No, they were living just ordinary life. You know? Yeah, let me bring up the stroke again. I'm aware of some people trying to say some negative thing about my stroke. Trying to say, oh, well, yo, it must have been. So I even saw a comment, oh, yeah, these women must have, like, did something, some witches. I was like, what the fuck? And apparently this shit didn't work that well. It's like, it's shoot. You know? Ain't no deep shit. Had the shit in my family. Had the likelihood in my family. And I ain't doing enough to prevent it from happening. It wasn't that deep. And if they were trying to stop me, like, I ain't gonna say the content creator's name, but they trying to say, was that connected with being a part of the manosphere? Well, one, I'm not usually considered part of the manosphere. Two, the shit just happened. The shit just happened. Like I said, there ain't no needle been stuck in me and shit. The shit just happened. It happens with anybody. Some shit happens. Accidents happen, you know? One of the things people have to do is they always, you know, because I always use the term the theys. Don't give the theys that much power. That's all people doing. Other people don't have, some shit just gonna happen anyway. You know? You know, your brakes might went out in your car, not to stop you, but you weren't getting the regular checkups with the car. You ain't have mechanics look at the brakes when you were getting oil changes, if you were even getting oil changes and everything. You know, everything ain't that damn deep. You stop thinking everything is. Now, let's put it like this with a real conspiracy. A real conspiracy, you probably won't see it. You won't see any real manifestations for years. For years, you know? There might be something, and then a conspiracy's in secret. A lot of stuff you'll find out here is open, even movements. They just not, you know, the mainstream news might not have picked up on it or talked about it. Nobody talked about it, but shoot, you get a lot of these groups, they got websites. A lot of these groups have websites and everything. They'll tell you what the fuck they doing. That's not a conspiracy. A conspiracy is usually people trying to do something illicit and trying to keep a secret. And it's hard for the average person. The only way it usually gets exposed is somebody who was a part of it comes forward. But the outsiders typically can't see it because they ain't a part of the group. They don't know the whole thing. You know? That's the thing. You know? If something happened, it just happened. Okay? Now, if you know from an insider's point of view, oh yeah, there's some conspiracy, they move. Okay. But then you got a lot of people saying some wrong stuff and you get on some stuff and it was like, nah. And I think, like I said, I used to roll with it, but then I started looking deeper into things. I started digging deeper myself. It's like, nah, they ain't that deep what they doing. Seriously. Like, stop thinking everything now. Yeah, do conspiracies exist? Yeah. But not everything is a conspiracy. Some shit just happens, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.